For my first video, I want to talk about something that's very uplifting. That is something so amazing. And that is the destruction, the collapse of New York City. Yes. It's so amazing, isn't it? So here, let's start off by talking about crime. New York saw record levels of felony crimes last year, most in over 15 years. This is from the New York Post, February 12th, 2023. The streets of New York are meaner than they've been in more than 15 years, thanks to soaring felony crimes, new police data reveal. More than 170,000 felony crimes were reported in the Big Apple last year, the most since 2006. Crime is increasing. Duh. These are the people that got rid of bail. If you arrested, they released you immediately. And guess what would happen? Would they go, oh, shucks, I committed this crime. I'm going to reevaluate my life. No, they would laugh and mock it and commit more crime. Get arrested and get released again. Okay, it goes on to say the staggering figures highlight the struggles that remain for Mayor Eric Adams and his police administration, who focused much of their attention on tackling gun violence and subway crime last year. While murders did drop significantly, I honestly don't believe that, which the NYPD attributed to a reduction in shootings, I don't believe that either. If you believe that, there's something wrong with you. Every other category of major crime saw an increase. Look at this. Felony assault up 15%, rape up 17%, dangerous weapons up 21%, grand larceny 25%, robberies up 26%, burglary up 27%, grand larceny auto up 32%, all felony crimes up 20.4%. It's marked the first time the city topped 120,000 major crimes since 2007. So all of these things are increasing. All of them. But shootings are down and murder is down. Yeah, I'm sure. And let's not forget, according to the new mayor, not Giuliani, Eric Adams, New York City is a brand. 67% of the vote in the 2021 election. He ran on lowering crime. Yeah. So let's go back. As we watch New York City just become another city in the United States that is imploding with crime. Criminal contempt, which is typically for flouting a judge's order, rose from 8,463 to 10,216. Dangerous weapons complaints, meanwhile, increased from 3,952 to 4,783. Again, keep in mind, these numbers should be significantly higher because these police are not arresting people anymore. There are multiple videos of these perpetrators literally just running away, and the cops just look at them and go, whatever. And here we got a quote from Michael Jack, a 37-year-old consultant from the Upper West Side, said he no longer feels safe. I wonder who you voted for. It makes me sad considering how much potential the city has, but it's just going the wrong way year after year in terms of quality of life, he said. I'm often looking over my shoulder when walking down the streets, regardless of the time of day. Criminals appear to be more emboldened than ever. I feel like the police don't have enough support to do their job properly. Why do you think that is? And remember what New York used to look like. New York City is collapsing. If you don't think so, let me show you these videos. Have a look here. Yes, it is. It's exactly what you think it is. Yeah, they're roasting rats. Let me play that again. Let me do it playback speed. Nice and slow for the people. Let me go a little bit slower. Playback speed, 0.2. This is during the day in New York City. They're openly cooking rats in the street. Look at that. And you think, oh, it's just a one-time thing. Yep. Look at that. Look at that. Incredible. Well, let's look at this. This is again in where? New York City. Yeah, what are those? In broad daylight, she's cooking rats. She's cooking rats. So let's look at this article. New York City homeless man arrested after 66-year-old man shoved onto the subway tracks. And that number is increasing even more and more and more. A New York City homeless man with nearly 24 priors, was arrested Tuesday after authorities say he shoved a 66-year-old victim onto subway tracks over the weekend and told him, quote, "I'm going to kill you." Yep, and there he is. 3 p.m. during Sunday. Brooklyn Crown Heights. You don't want to be in Brooklyn Crown Heights neighborhood. You really don't. That's one story. And here is an opinion by Jim Quinn about crime stats. And this is why it's bad. I started to write a column about crime statistics. They continue to be stubbornly bad, in spite of some ideologues bizarrely celebrating a decline in homicides and shootings this year, as they look at snapshots of crime week to week or month to month. The bottom line is that crime in New York City in 2002 was 31% higher than in 2019, before criminal justice reforms, with almost 55,000 more victims in 2022 than in 2019, including 30,000 felony victims. And he goes on to say in the article, "My wife and daughter went into Manhattan last week for dinner and a show. They took the subway and walked along 8th Avenue from 42nd Street to the restaurant on 46th Street. They arrived at the restaurant at 5:15 p.m. They were inside the restaurant when just 2 blocks away on 44th Street and 8th Avenue, a man was shot and killed. Murder is up 33% since 2019. They missed being in the middle of it by minutes. And that's what they do. Remember how they said murder's down? From year to year, it's down, but it's up. It's up 33% from 2019. About 2 weeks earlier, my wife and her cousin went into Manhattan to have dinner at a restaurant on the Upper East Side on 62nd Street. When they got to the restaurant, the front door was inaccessible because someone had tried to burglarize the restaurant earlier that day, so they had to use a side entrance. New York City burglaries are up 45% in 2019. Remember, folks, New York City is a brand. A brand. This guy that is destroying New York City with these policies. Are people going to wake up? No, they're not. He won 67% of the vote. He will probably run again and probably win. Why? Because, like Pelosi said, put a D on a glass of water in a Democratic district, it's going to win. We are witnessing the death of New York City. It's done. It's dead. You can't look at anything and go, wow, New York City's doing awesome. What can you point to where it's doing awesome? The rich people that pay the taxes, they're leaving. The only thing keeping New York City going is the financial district. And you go, wow, that's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. But what happens when the financial district, when the people that run it go, I don't feel safe anymore in this city? What's going to happen to them? Are they going to stay in the city? Hell no. See, right now they probably feel safe in their bajillion-dollar, penthouse apartments. They have armed security at the door. Their cars are parked. They spend a crap ton of money on their cars parked in a parking garage. They don't see it. They don't see it, so they don't care. What happens when this stuff is at their front doorstep? We're already seeing it more and more. Attacks happening. I mean, you just had that actor not too long ago from Ghostbusters. He was openly attacked, punched. That is going to continue, and it's going to start affecting these rich people, and these rich people are going to flee, and they're going to go to an area that has low crime, low taxes, stability, and that area usually is red. They're probably going to go to places like Texas. The problem is they're going to vote Democrat once they get there, and they'll destroy that area. Once the financial district leaves New York City, you are going to see a biblical collapse. Biblical. You think Detroit was bad? Detroit was bad. Detroit was one of the richest cities in America. Where is it now? Where is it now? It's done. Detroit is done. The only thing saving New York, again, is the financial district. It's going to leave. And then you are going to see third world fighting. It's going to be like Escape from New York. It is going to look like that. It seems that when Giuliani was elected, he just slowed down what was happening. He delayed the inevitable. These people are back on track. They have the power within the city again. The corruption, the bureaucracy, high crime. So it's going back to that. Giuliani slowed it. He saved it for a little bit. But now it's back. When they're roasting rats in the street, when there increase of homeless people throwing people on the tracks, on the subway tracks, when you have homeless people openly shooting up in the street, when you have shootings in broad daylight, when you have people, these flash mobs going into these stores, grabbing stuff and just leaving. And no one's pushing back. No one's saying, oh my God, this is horrible. New York City's a brand. It's crazy to watch one of the biggest cities in the world. Everyone knows New York City. New York City's at the level of Paris and London. That's the level of New York City. New York City. And it's done. And if you live in the city, leave now before the collapse. Because once it collapses, all bets are off. The police are not going to go in there to help you. They're not. And you're going to be on your own in an area where you cannot legally buy a firearm if you are an upstanding citizen. So yeah, New York City is collapsing. Thank you for listening.